The Department of Natural Resources elevating Northeast Wisconsin's fire danger to high and even very high for some counties.
Comes after the DNR Monday announced there was an increase in fire danger due to the weather we're experiencing this week. Notified Samantha Cabala, that is, tells us what you need to know.
Officials with the Wisconsin DNR tell me the reason for elevating the fire danger was because of the high and gusty winds, as well as the significant lack of rainfall that we've had in the past month. Typically during this time of year, dry vegetation such as leaves, grass, and plants are the most vulnerable to carrying a fire. Mixed with the high winds and lack of rain, one little spark could set off an uncontrollable wildfire. Oconto Falls Forest Ranger Garrett Lubbers says conditions like these are typically only seen during the springtime following winter. He explained why Northeast Wisconsin is seeing fire danger levels elevated to a high category.
It has some areas that are maybe a little bit more sandy in the soils, and those cover types have a lot more grasses, a lot more pine, and maybe some areas that might burn a little more intense, maybe a little hotter. Fires move a little bit quicker.
Lubbers says that if you do plan on burning this week, whether it be a campfire or a fireplace, to make sure that all the coals and embers are completely out before you go back inside, as they could reignite. For more information on the fire danger, you can visit WBAY.com. Reporting in Outagamie County, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.